Hey, everybody. What's going on? Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube page. Hopefully, all of you have been able to do that, which is at PTL Radio Show. We just finished a show, another jam-packed show with a gazillion calls and some very interesting calls today. But we talked about a lot of different issues on the show today. We talked about Dr. Phil, who appeared on The View the other day and just spread more COVID misinformation and lies, which anybody who knows me knows it drives me absolutely crazy. We talked a little bit about that. Also on the program today, we talked about a number of other topics, including Ashley Babbitt. There's a lot of people on the far right. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there is a good portion of people on the right that look at Ashley Babbitt to be some sort of hero. Ashley Babbitt is some sort of martyr. And and I talked about this on the show today. It doesn't bring me any joy, but Ashley Babbitt was and should always be remembered as a domestic terrorist. She was killed because of her actions that day. She put herself in that position, and I'm so tired of people on the right looking at Ashley Babbitt as some sort of hero. And it's really sad. It's really sad. And I just try to call out truth. It doesn't bring me any joy to talk about Ashley Babbitt's death. I'm just tired of people out there that seem to want to give her any bit of respect. And Dr. Phil's a complete moron, a complete idiot. I'm going to tell you what we're going to be doing on the show tomorrow to give you a little bit of preview. We're going to be talking about these Republican House clowns who continue to try to go after Hunter Biden and make the correlation that Joe Biden committed crimes and was influenced. It's gone in their face, and Hunter Biden agreed to answer questions under oath today. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, the way the Republicans are attempting to spin it. We're also going to have a really interesting guest tomorrow. She is a transgender woman who's running for office here as a Democrat. And, I find it courageous, anybody that's willing to, first of all, admit that they are transgender, number one, and number two, the backlash that they have to face from the right. I mean, there's a lot of transgenders or the LGBT community that will not vote Republican because of the hatred they get from people on the right. For the most part, people on the left are much more accepting of the LGBT community and those that are transgender. So Eva Chase is her name, and she's going to be joining us in studio tomorrow. She's running for office. So definitely want to talk to her about those issues. That's going to be very interesting. We're definitely going to get to the Hunter Biden stuff. We'll be talking about Hunter Biden. Hi, Alicia. Thank you for enjoying the show. Tomorrow should be a good one as well. Go Ram says masks worked because the flu became non-existent during COVID. You are completely 100% correct. And that's logic. That's logic, right? Anybody logical would make a statement like that. That's logical. Where did the flu go? It just disappeared. No, the reason why not a lot of people got the flu is because a lot of people were wearing masks. You're 100% right. This isn't brain surgery, right? This is logical stuff, people. And I try to talk about this stuff on a regular basis. The show is growing. It's growing every day. And I've been asked to do this overtime for 5 or 10 minutes after every show where we kind of review what happened on the show. And we give kind of a first take preview of what we're going to be doing on the show tomorrow. So I appreciate all of you joining us, and I'll keep doing it as long as you guys want me to do it. And we're on a few other platforms, by the way. Washington Press on their Facebook page, they have 1.5 million followers. They're now broadcasting my show live on their page. And we're also, for the first time, on the Occupy Democrats YouTube page, as well as my own YouTube page. So that's kind of cool. I'm always open to even a bigger audience than we already have. We average around, if you were wondering, about 50,000 views per day. We average about 50,000 views of the show per day, which is pretty good, but I want to get it higher. Delani says the Supreme Court just ruled on immunity, won't be heard till April 22nd and further delaying it. Thank you for sharing that with us. Boy, I have some concerns about our Supreme Court and some of those people that are on it, Clarence Thomas being one of them. His wife is an insurrectionist as far as I'm concerned. But the overturning of Roe versus Wade, I have worries about the Supreme Court. We have Donald Trump to thank for that, by the way. And I might be bringing that up tomorrow, too. But we're definitely going to be talking about the Hunter Biden stuff tomorrow. I wanted to make sure I got all the information because he was actually, his testimony was when I was on the show. So I didn't want to really get into it. I'll get into it more tomorrow with audio, Republican reaction, Democrat reaction. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow, of course. It is interesting when I go on TikTok. Sometimes I went on TikTok today, and if I call somebody a right-wing buffoon, they suspend me for a week. I do find that very, very interesting. I am considering on my website, which is ptlradio.com. I think I'm going to sell some shirts and some mugs on there. I think it's going to be on the front. It's going to say pushing the limits. And on the back, it's going to say, don't be a right-wing buffoon. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've been getting suggestions, so I might be doing that. Maybe, I don't know if some of you would be interested in buying that sort of stuff. I would imagine you'd rather buy that, hopefully, over those gold Donald Trump sneakers. But man, it's kind of crazy, right? Because I look at some of these nationally syndicated shows out there, all conservative, right? But, they'll take maybe 5 or 6 calls. But on my show, every day, we take 90 minutes straight of phone calls. Now, obviously, if I have more guests, then we can't take that many calls. But every day, constant, 90 minutes straight of phone calls. And I love the fact that I'm not getting calls just from all over the country. I'm getting calls from all over the world. And I'm grateful, and I'm very humbled and appreciative of all of you that are part of the show. If you're asking what you can do for me right now, spread the word. Send the link to the live show. Give them my personal YouTube page, which is at PTL Radio Show. Spread the word about my show. That's the best thing you can do. If you enjoy the show and you like what I do, the best thing you can do is tell other people about it. Word of mouth, baby. I appreciate all of you for doing that. And as we get going a little bit more, we'll probably make these segments a little longer, the overtime, PTL overtime segments. But I just like to give people a quick rundown on what we did on the show if you missed it. And then a little preview of what we're going to be doing on the show tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to talk about the Hunter Biden testimony and the right-wing hypocrites out there that are trying to spin it. So we'll get reaction from both sides of the aisle on that tomorrow. And as I mentioned, our very special guest, transgender woman running for office, Eva Chase, will be joining us in studio tomorrow as well. I appreciate all of you very much. Please spread the word about this show. That's the best thing you can do for me. Love you all very much. And we will see you same time, same place on the show tomorrow, Pushing the Limits. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me.